Okay, folks, listen. This is this is a live stream, and this is going to be the exact same video that I just did earlier today. I'm going to be talking about Usher again because I talked about Usher. You know why I'm talking about Usher? Because Google sent a message saying that I guess he was confirmed to be the halftime show. I don't know. I thought we got that news a long time ago, but it came up again, and I guess it was like confirmed. You know what I mean? And and who did the confirming? It was Kim Kardashian. Can you believe this, man? That supposed Armenian, because she's a half Armenian. Because I'm full Armenian, right? And I told you the Armenians were the first Christians as a nation. And anyway, we'll talk about that later. But why is this important that Usher is the halftime show at the Super Bowl? Okay, first of all, if you're watching this from the beginning, make sure you catch up to the chat. You know what I mean? Unless you're watching this on a replay, if I leave it up, then of course you watch the whole video. But if you're catching up to the live stream, then catch up to us. But anyway, so so what does ushering mean? Usher, the name. It's like you're bringing in something. You usher someone to their seats or something. You know what I mean? So they're ushering in the Antichrist. You know what I mean? And and what's important that Usher, because I mean, to me, I can't even name you one Usher song. Usher is the least person that I'd ever want to see in concert or anything. You know what I mean? I can't stand any of that music, but I'm just saying if they you know told me I had to watch something, the Usher would be the last thing I'd ever want to watch. Anyway, just like Rihanna. But I mean, at least with Rihanna, I mean, I guess some of her songs are okay, I guess. But Usher, my goodness. Oh, you know what? Probably because Usher's a dancer, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't know. But his music sucks, man. Um, but anyway, so why did they choose Usher? Besides his name, okay, they chose Usher, okay, because right now Usher is 44 years old, but he turns 45 on October 14th, which I told you the 45 is the important number, okay? Because Elvis, he needed, for the people who don't know what I'm talking about, Elvis needs the nine. And I told you all the numbers between 1 through 9 equals 45. And that's why this Trump is the 45th president, because Trump is the replacement. He's the replicant of Elvis's identical twin that supposedly died at birth. He was the replacement twin, okay? Supposed twin that died at birth, the identical. Anyway, uh, so he's the present Elvis. Elvis, was the past, the real Elvis. Trump is the present, the past, the present, the PP, right? And I told you he turns 45 years old, right? Hold on. Uh, Yeah, I heard that. I don't have television. I don't have cable or anything, so I don't. I remember I haven't watched TV in months. Someone's saying that Kim Kardashian was in some kind of horror, some stupid horror story or something, American Horror Story or something. Um, anyway, so what's important about this 45 is not only that, but the guy who plays Lucifer turns 45 this year on November 17th. The guy who plays Lucifer, and it just so happens the guy's name. Okay, first of all, his name is Tom. Okay, Tom is short for Thomas. Thomas means twin. Okay, and Elvis had an identical twin that died at birth. And what's his last name? Ellis. Sounds like Elvis. Okay, Tom Ellis. Lucifer turns 45 years old on uh, So when my two predictions happen, because I have two predictions on June 11th, there's some crazy, incredible event that's going to happen on June 11th in Seattle, the whole area of King County in Washington State on June 11th, and somehow it connects to Elvis. And then on August 4th, Trump gets his head wound in Ohio, and he survives the head wound. Now, those are the two predictions, and Lucifer will be 45 years old during that time, okay? Because it's all about the 45. That's why Trump was the 45th president. And if you've been watching my videos, you understand what the 42, 45 is all about, and the 47, because the 47 is the crown number, because the 15 is the crown, which is the letter O. The 15 prime number is 47, so it connects to, you know, the crown number. Anyway, so he's 45 years old. He's ushering in the Antichrist. Get it? Okay? And it so happens that someone's saying that Usher's birthday is the 288th day of the year. Oh, next year. So it's on the 287 right now? Is that what you're saying? His regular day? Anyway, but what's important is who was the sponsor of the Super Bowl, okay? I'll get to the Super Bowl in a minute, the connections with that. But who was the sponsor? How long was Pepsi the sponsor of the Super Bowl?
10 years. According to PIMS.com, Pepsi initially sponsored the halftime show for Super Bowl.
So you know who took over? Look at this. Who is now the sponsor of the Super Bowl?
Apple Music. According to Fortune, the last star of the...
So Apple Music is now since last year. Last year was their first year in 2023. Okay? So, and I told you how important the Apple is to this puzzle. Okay? Because you know that New York, right? New York is what is it? New York is the Big Apple, right? And you know that stupid I Pet Goat video? The girl drops the apple and all of a sudden everything goes black in that stupid I Pet Goat video that every true channel talks about. She drops the apple and the lights go out, or the lights go out first, the apple, whatever, it doesn't matter, whichever way, something bad happens. It's as if she dies, and she drops the apple, it rolls across, right? And why am I even talking about that? Because Washington is the Apple state. The next 9/11 is going to be in Seattle on 6/11. Okay? So not only do you have the connection with the Apple, because the Big Apple was New York, where Manhattan 9/11, right? Then the Washington state is the Apple state, right? And that I Pet Goat video, what happens in that I Pet Goat video? Okay? See, I'm not going to show you the video. I'm just going to show you that part where let me just show it to you this way. It's too hard to. So notice, see, you can't see there's an L, there it is. There's the L right there. And then there's a C right here, okay? So the apple, it breaks. It cracks in half, okay? And half of it is in the sea, get it? The water, and half of it is out, okay? And you know, this boot right here, that's Obama's boot. And Obama's born on 8/4. You see? That's what it's trying to tell you here. It's like connecting to the 8/4 also. because I told you 611 is the connection first, and the 84 is the Trump Ohio head wound. But anyway, so it cracks in half, okay? And because they're probably going to crack Seattle, I'm telling you, folks, they're going to do something sinister. And the C, get it? And L, the L, I always tell you about the EL means God in Hebrew, but this is just saying L, but same thing, because they're going to birth L out of the C in Seattle, right? And like I told you, the Washington state is the Apple state, right? And what happens once they birth it? Where is it? Where is that scene? Oh, don't tell me I didn't. No, I must have not. I want to see if I have that scene where the Lotus comes out. Hold on. Where is it? See, and then once the apple completely opens, you have the rebirth of the Lotus. It's a Lotus means rebirth. You know what I mean? And that's what they're doing. They're going to birth the birth EL out of the C in Seattle. Okay, now, why am I bringing that up? Because besides Washington being the Apple state and the next, Big Apple Manhattan, right, in New York was 9/11. So Apple Music took over for the Super Bowl, right? Last year was their first year. This is, the next one. Okay, and hold on. That's right. Trump gave the Pope a lotus sculpture. That's right. And Lotus sounds like POTUS. That's right. POTUS is, President of the United States, right? And it also can stand for Presley Obama Trump, POT. Presley Obama Trump, US. Get it? POTUS. And Elvis, his Graceland looks like the White House. And Presley sounds like President, PRES. And also, it's the first four letters of serpent, SERP. Okay, but it's mainly President, PRES, right? Presley, PRES. And Graceland, where he lived, Elvis, looks like the White House. Folks, it's not; these aren't coincidences. And remember, Elvis, the president he visited was the 37th president, right? And 37 looks like the letters EL. The only president he visited was the 37th president, Nixon. 37 looks like EL. Because I told you, it's all about the EL with this dude. That's why it's L this. L means God in Hebrew. And I told you the VIS in Elvis is VI is Roman numeral 6. And the S says more than one. So it's VI sixes. VI means 6, so it's sixes with the S. So it's the God sixes, the 666 God. You understand? Elvis. Like I said, folks, you have to have spiritual eyes. If you don't have spiritual eyes, you're just going to be blind and not understand, Anyway, so why is the apple so important? I just told you all the apple connections, right? But, and also to New York, right, being the Big Apple. Was Seattle first called New York? Oh man, it's not answering. Was Seattle first called New York?
According to Seattle.gov, white settlers came to the Seattle area in 1851, establishing a town site they first called New York, and then adding a word from...
See? So so Seattle was first known as New York. Can you believe that? So there's another connection to this puzzle. You know what I mean? Which, of course, I revealed that years ago. I was the first one to reveal that in the truth community. And what else? And Elvis. When did Elvis make his comeback special? When did Elvis make his comeback special? Do you know he filmed it in June of 1968? But when did it actually come out to the world? Listen. When was the release of Elvis's comeback special in 1968?
December 3rd, 1968.
So December 3rd, 12/3. And why is that important? Because what did I just get finished showing you here? That's an L, and then you have the C. L is the 12th letter, C is the 3rd letter, 12/3. The comeback. You understand? The Lotus, the comeback, the rebirth. Are you getting it? Are you getting that? Are you getting that? Is that ridiculous or what? Come on. And you know the first 2 Super Bowls were won by Green Bay Packers? Green Bay, Emerald City, get it? Yes, God bless you. God bless you for the kind words. Thank you. So, do you understand what I'm saying, right? Think about that. I mean, it's so ridiculous, you know? And yeah, exactly. And Elvis was at the Oscars this year because of the Elvis movie. That Austin Butthead, Elvis was up for an Oscar, didn't win nothing. It got shut out. It got the 0. Oh, I didn't want to make the 666, but it got a 0. And 0 is a crown. So he got the crown, right? And somebody mentioned that in the chat the other day. So he got the crown, and Austin Butler was up against Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser for The Whale, the movie The Whale. And The Whale, what is The Whale? It's a beast out of the sea, because Elvis is the beast out of the sea. He's the Kraken. He's the Phoenix Rising. He's the camel that shoots through the eye of the needle. Okay? I forget, there's another one. The beast out of the sea, the Kraken, the Phoenix, whatever. And that's enough. But anyway, so Brendan Fraser wins for the Oscar over Austin Butthead, right? And remember, Elvis's comeback special was 12/3/1968, December 3rd, 1968. When was Brendan Fraser born?
Brendan Fraser was born on December 3rd, 1968.
I mean, can you believe this? I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. You see what I'm saying? And you know his creature wife? His wife, listen to when she's born. When was Brendan Fraser's wife born?
According to IMDb, Afton Smith was born on the 3rd of December 1967 in
So she's born on the same day as him, but 1 year earlier. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because that was the comeback special, right? Of Elvis. Brendan Fraser is born on the comeback special, and his wife is born on that day too. But he's actually born on the exact day in the year, Brendan Fraser. And he was up for The Whale, the beast out of the sea, get it? And he won. You know what I mean? And yeah, exactly, like the Jonah and the whale story, right? And what's even crazier is that it was held, the Academy Awards, the Oscars, was on March 12th, which is 3/12. And in other places, what do they say? 12/3. There it is again. So it was held on 12/3, 3/12, get it? Yeah, that's right. Brendan Fraser was in the movie Encino Man, that's right. They thawed out the Iceman, that's right. Anyway, yeah, they're thawing out Elvis, right? Anyway, so what else? What else can we talk about, folks? Yeah, Elvis, like I said, look, in the Bible it tells you Satan comes as an angel of light. And that's what Elvis was. I mean, that dude in that Hawaii concert, folks, he just looked like an angel. I'm serious. I mean, literally, when I saw I mean, I literally, it's like if a dude could have a crush on a dude, that would be it. I told you I was obsessed with Elvis as a kid. All right, but not in that way, not in the butt slammer way. I was just obsessed with him. I mean, he was like of course, this is blasphemy. I don't want to say that, but I'm saying it's like as if he was a god. You know what I mean? What you saw, you know, it was crazy. I was obsessed with the dude. I combed my hair like him, talked like him, sang in front of the mirror, did all the. I was moving like him. I was doing every horrible imaginable thing, you know, trying to look like him. Oh yeah, someone's telling me about certain people named yeah. What about? I know I don't want to mention it, but you're saying that they're both born on January 8th, huh? Him and his wife, the Podestas, they're both born on January 8th. Him and his wife, huh? What year? Anyway, hold on. Oh, 1949. Man, interesting. So what else? What else? Oh, and speaking of Super Bowls, Elvis, he died at the age of 42, right? And Washington is the 42nd state, right? Elvis was known as the king. Seattle's in King County. And, Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived. So you have a king that was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, and Elvis the king lived there, right? Then you have Elvis is known as the king. Seattle's in King County. And now King County, where Seattle is, in King County, it's named after Martin Luther King. And what did they do to Martin Luther King in Elvis's hometown, Memphis, Tennessee? They killed the king, right? And now they're going to destroy King County, where Seattle is. Seattle is the EL state. I told you you're going to birth L, right? EL state. Where is it? See? The anagram for Seattle is EL state. STATE. And then the L state, right? Because they're gonna and I told you they're gonna birth L, right? The EL. EL means God. They're gonna birth EL. Birth EL. EL birth equals this. This is the forward numbers, this is the backwards. Look, it equals exactly Lucifer. Same exact numbers. 74, 38, 115, 43 backwards. Same exact numbers. And by the way, the words the king equals exactly all of this up to this. The only difference is the king is 34 instead of 43. But every number is the same. So the king 90 is almost the same as this. Every number is the same except this one. It's 34 instead of 43. So what I'm trying to show you is that they're going to birth L out of the sea in Seattle, right? And birth L is Lucifer because Elvis represents Lucifer. Yeah, that's right. B.B. King also, right? That's right. B.B. King. The 2-2 King, B.B. I told you in the year 2022, when Elvis turned 45 years dead on August 16th, the 45th anniversary of his death, August 16, 2022, that was the day the fuse was lit. The fuse was lit. Right now, the fuse is lit, folks. Just imagine. I almost dropped the pen. Just imagine seeing a fuse, folks. It's getting closer and closer and closer. Because on 6/11/2024, from that day the fuse was lit, is 666 days. And that's what they needed. They needed the 666, okay, 666, to connect to the 45, which I've shown you guys why, but I'm not going to get into it now. But the 45 is the connection, okay, and 2022, all right. And if you don't know why, I'm just going to real quick. It's because the name Elvis equals 67. 45 plus 22 is 67 also. But anyway, forget about that. I'm not going to get into it. But so the point I was trying to make is, what was my point? Where was I going with this? I don't even remember what I was talking about. What? Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, I was saying that the King County. Oh, and Elvis, the same year he died, the same year Elvis died, in horse racing, which is called the sport of kings. That year, the year Elvis died in 1977, there was a horse called Seattle Slew that won the most prestigious race in horse racing, called the Triple Crown. And he won it on June 11th, 1977. So slew means to kill violently. So Seattle is going to be violently killed. That's what they're saying. Seattle slew, June 11th, 1977, the same year Elvis died. I don't understand. Like, how can you get these kind of connections, you know, and not see it? Yeah, that's right. Look, it's Levi's. Elvis. There's somebody saying there's a new online gambling slot called Helvis Wild. Yeah, that's right. Helvis. Remember Jim Carrey played Helvis. And Jim Carrey's initials, JC. And when Elvis visited Nixon, the only president he ever visited, he gave him a 45, a gun. Gun equals 42, and he gave him a 45 Colt, and Colt equals June in Gematria, and gun equals 42, like I said, right? Which connects to Elvis dying at the age of 42 and Washington being the 42nd state. And in IPEC Goat, they showed the devil on as like Abraham Lincoln or something, right? It's like a weird looking Abraham Lincoln in that IPEC Goat on the TV. But really, what that is telling you it's a TV. TV equals 42. T and V, the letters TV. T is the 20th letter, V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet, 42. Because Washington's the 42nd state, Washington's the 42nd state, that was died at the age of 42. And the Super Bowl is on 2/11, which is the 42nd day of the year. It's the first time it lands on the 42nd day of the year, okay? And this is the first time, like I said, the Super Bowl ever lands on the 42nd day of the year. And also the date, okay? The date 2/11/24 is exactly what the Julian calendar is, because the date 2/20. Listen, we're in the year 2024, right? So you could, if you took out the 0, it would be 2/24. So 2/11 on the old calendar would have been 2/24 on the Julian calendar. So Julian calendar, the date 2/24 would have been 2/11. 2/24 would have been 2/11. So look, that's the date of next year's Super Bowl, 2/11/24, just like this. 6/11/24 is the day Seattle gets struck, right? And 6/24 is 6/11 on the Julian calendar, the calendar we were on before this one. So I'm just saying that you even have that connection, you know. And the company that makes that slot machine called Elvis is called Pragmatic Play. The PP. There you go. I told you. And for the people who don't know what the PP is, the P is the 16th letter of the alphabet. PP, 1616, right? And because June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. That's 16-2, get it? 162nd is 162, 16-2. August 4th is the 216, 216th day. See, it's about it's about the two P's. Two P's in a pod, get it? PP, 1616. The PP. And I showed you guys what that's about. It's all about the Antichrist, okay? Because see, the word P, P-E-E, if you were to actually spell the word, instead of a letter, because the letter P is the 16th letter, but if you spelled the word P, like someone goes P, it equals the word God. You see that? Exact same numbers. So if you have two P's, that would be the Antichrist. Get it? P, P. The Antichrist. Do you understand? That's why they kill. That's why they say the PP. It's the Antichrist. Just like this. The words the Antichrist equals 154. The word Christ equals 77. So if you have a second Christ, that would be the Antichrist. 77 plus 77 equals 154. See what I mean? The double cross. Just like Manhattan had the double cross, the two T's. Seattle has the two T's. You see what I'm saying? And anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I could go on all day with the connections, folks. I have to let go somewhere. Anyway, anything else, folks, you want to talk about? And by the way, that Kim Kardashian, she's not a real Armenian. Her mom's not Armenian. It was her dad. And guess when her dad was born? On 2/22, Washington's death date. I mean, Washington's changed birthday, because his original was 2/11, right? But anyway, so 2/11 is the 42nd day of the year. That's what I was talking about. You know, what is the chance of that, right? That, you know, because, man, you know what's important about the Super Bowl? Look, I told you Elvis equals 67, right? What year was the first Super Bowl? It was 1967. I already knew the date and everything. I just wanted you to hear it, but they didn't say it. So it was the first year. It was 1967. And I could show you even more important than that. Even the date is connected to me, but I'm not going to explain it right now. But what are they saying? It was in 67. That's what I was saying. And who won the first two Super Bowls? Green Bay Packers, 67, 68, right? And Green Bay is like the Emerald City, right? That's what you would call the Green Bay over there. And 67, 68, that's the word Elvis. Elvis equals 67 forward, 68 backwards. So again, just, I guess it's just a sheer coincidence, you know? Oh, I forgot the most important part of that piece of the puzzle. What an idiot. You know why Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl? Anybody here want to guess why the Green Bay Packers, besides the green connection to Emerald City, why did the Green Bay Packers win the 67 and 68 Super Bowl, which I just told you is Elvis, 67, 68? Why did Green Bay Packers win the first two Super Bowls? Anyone want to guess? I've already talked about this in my old, but I forgot all about it. Do you know what the Super Bowl trophy is called, folks? Listen to this. What is the Super Bowl trophy called?
The Vince Lombardi Trophy.
Watch this. Which coach won the first two Super Bowls?
According to Wikipedia, at the conclusion of the 1966 and 1967 seasons, Lombardi's Packers won the first two Super Bowls for championships in 5 of 7 seasons.
Which coach won the 67 Super Bowl? Watch.
Here is information.
You piece of garbage. Anyway, so here, look. Look. So 67 and 68 was won by Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi. You see? Now, why is this important? So the coach was the coach of the Green Bay Packers, wins the first two, and now the Super Bowl trophy is named after him, right? Right? When was Vince Lombardi born?
Vince Lombardi was born on June 11th, 1913.
There you go. Now you understand? I told you Seattle's going to be struck on June 11th. The first two Super Bowls, 67, 68. Elvis equals 67 forward, 68 backwards. And June 11th is when Seattle gets struck, which connects to Elvis. I told you. All right. Now just ask yourself, how is that possible? Right? How is that possible? And you know what year? Watch this. What year was the Elvis halftime show?
According to Keepo Quiz, Elvis Presley was the star of the halftime show at the first Super Bowl in 1967.
What? What the hell's that? I've never heard of this before. What are they talking about? Can you believe? First of all, this is nonsense. I have no idea what the hell this means. I'm going to figure that out right now. That's not what I was looking at. I have no idea what this is. No, this is fake. No, it's a true or false question. Why would they even bring that up? It says Elvis Presley was the star of the halftime show at the first Super Bowl in 1967. It is false. Unlike the massive spectacles we see today, the first halftime shows featured marching bands from various universities. Why would they even put that into my thing? You pieces of garbage. For a second there, I thought I didn't know something. Anyway, hold on. When was the Elvis halftime show at the Super Bowl?
According to Keepo Quiz.
I already know it. I just wanted them to say it. Was Elvis Presley the 1989 Super Bowl halftime show?
According to Wikipedia, the show then began with Elvis Presto, the performance's MC, appearing from inside a jukebox. Various songs were performed. Ironically, none of them were Elvis Presley songs.
Anyway, so the whole halftime show was Elvis Presley in 1989, right? And I told you, Elvis, next year he turns 89, okay? And next year is the year 24. The 24th prime number is 89, right? So, so the whole halftime show was this horrible Elvis impersonator. And by the way, he was 33, and you know that 33 is a big deal. But anyway, so why is this important? Okay, the Super Bowl. I'm not going to get into every detail, but just a couple of them. The winners were 49ers. And who were they playing? The Bengals, Cincinnati. And I told you Trump's going to get his head wound in Ohio. And Cincinnati's in Ohio. So I told you Trump's going to get his head wound in Ohio. So there's a connection right there. But San Francisco wins it. And what is San Francisco? The 49ers. 4-9. That's my birthday. 9-4. I told you. Everything is connected to me. Okay? 4994, and even Elvis's social security number was 409. But 49 is 4 times 9 equals 36. It's all about the 666 with Elvis. I told you that. All right. And so, now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so the 49ers win. And uh, the winning quarterback, who was the quarterback for the 89 Super Bowl winners, 49ers?
Quarterback Joe Montana. According
When was Joe Montana born?
Joe Montana was born on June 11th, 1956.
There you go. Again. So the winning quarterback for the year the Elvis impersonator was Joe Montana. You see what I'm saying? And by the way, he also won the 16th and the 19th. And you know, Elvis, he lived in the 16th state, that Memphis, Tennessee, where he died. And he wore the number 16, Montana. He also wore the number 19, which is the upside down. You know, it's all about the 16 and 19, which is the 611, 911 connection, right? Which I tell you guys all the time. And that's why Elvis's dad's born in the year 1916. That's why Obama's born in 1961. It's the same numbers as 911, 611, you know? What else? Oh, the score. That was the most important thing. Remember, I told you that that everything is about the 216s, right? So the score of that game was hold on. So the score of that game was 16 to 20, 20 to 16. Okay? And why is that important? Because look, it's the 216 or the 162. June 11th is the 162nd day. August 4th is the 216th day. Get it? 16-2, 216. 216, 16-2 with a crown. You see? And that was the only time in all of the Super Bowl where you had that score. So get ready, folks, for this year. Now, let me tell you something. If I'm gonna have to go through the numbers and try to figure out what the score of this Super Bowl is gonna be. I mean, like I said, I don't know, but there's many guesses it could be. I mean, could it be 60-11, which would be ridiculous? I don't see how that's possible, but that would be a very hard thing for them to do, and it would be a boring Super Bowl. I was thinking more along the lines of something to do with the number 42, since it's on the 42nd day of the year, you know, the Super Bowl. So I know I'm trying to think what besides the 42, you know. They wouldn't do 16 to 2. That would be ridiculous. If they do 20 to 16 again, now that would be just beyond. You better get the hell out of Seattle if you see that. And if you know, I'm just saying, if you for the naysayers, that would wake them up. You know what I mean? For the naysayers, I'm saying we already know it's going to happen, whatever the score is. I already know it's going to happen. But for the naysayers, if they see that score, man, if they don't get out, then well, whatever you know, then you can't say they weren't warned. You know. Anyway. Hold on. Yeah, someone's talking about the Kim Kardashian. Yeah, it's the KK is 11/11. Yeah, which is the day Washington was founded, the state of Washington, 11/11. And Of course, Trump has talked about Elvis many times in his concerts. I mean, in his speeches at his rallies. Anyway, Trump was the one who gave him his Presidential Medal of Freedom award. Trump gave it to Elvis when Elvis, was already dead. But when Trump became president, he gave it to him. Yeah, that's right. The sisters are KK, whatever, sisters, brothers, whatever you want to call the Kardashians, but they're all KKs. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Someone's asking. Someone's asking. They understand the Trump connection, but what does Elvis have to do with it? See, Elvis is the real Antichrist. Okay. Trump is, because Elvis had an identical twin that died at birth. Okay. Now, and oh, hold on. Anyway, let me just explain it first before I write anything down. So, look, in order for the Antichrist to be worshipped, he'd have to be someone that is beloved by the whole world. First of all, Trump is not beloved by the whole world, but he is like a real whatever, somebody who could fit that description. Okay, but he's not beloved by the whole world, but he's beloved by half this country, whatever. But Elvis, he's beloved everywhere. Every city of every state and every country has a statue of Elvis somewhere. All right, and you have Elvis impersonators all across the world. Okay, and he was like the very first one to have any kind of impersonators like that. All right. And Elvis's name equals lives, the anagram, besides Levi's and evils, or lives, lives, like the Black Lives thing. That's why they had that all across the earth, was the Black Lives, because it's dark Elvis. Lives is Elvis. It's the Black Elvis. Anyway, Elvis is beloved by the whole world. That's why. And Satan comes as an angel of light. And that's why he had to, because see, Elvis doesn't need to be here to be worshipped. Okay? It's all about the worshiping the mark of the beast. Okay? It doesn't matter whether he's here or not. It doesn't even matter. That's what Trump is here for. Trump is here to be the in the flesh Antichrist, when the real Antichrist is actually Elvis. Trump is going to make sure Elvis is worshipped. Okay? By him being worshipped. By Trump being worshipped. And I'll give you another example, all right, is and also Lucifer in heaven was adorned in jewels, and he had musical talent. Same thing with Elvis, adorned in jewels, musical talent. Okay, now yeah, and by the way, listen, if your family members love Elvis, it doesn't mean, like my wife, she loves Elvis, but she understands now. Just like me, I was obsessed with Elvis, but of course that was just when I was a kid. I told you, he was my first obsession. But what I'm saying is, no, that doesn't mean you're worshiping him. But if you take his mark, you're worshiping him. Yeah, when the mark comes out, whatever this mark is going to be, you got to make sure that your family doesn't take it. That's it. You can't do it. Anyway, so I'll give you another example, which is beyond ridiculous, which is Israel is supposedly the Holy Land, right? If that's the Holy Land, then why is there a gold statue of Elvis, a giant gold statue of Elvis in the Holy Land? What? Are you seriously going to tell me they're going to allow a gold statue of Elvis? And it's the only one. You know, they tried to make a gold statue of Netanyahu. That one day it lasted. Somebody put it up as some kind of, I don't know what. Some guy made a gold color statue, put it up in the middle of the whatever the town is of, the most popular area. Within one day, it was gone. They destroyed it. But Elvis's statue has been there since 1970 something, or whatever, 1980 something. The point I'm trying to make is that the way they get away with it is because they put a restaurant around it and say, "Oh, it's just an Elvis themed restaurant. It's innocent. No, it's no big deal." But yet, millions have made a pilgrimage to this place. To this abomination. That's right. Kourtney Kardashian got married by an Elvis impersonator. I think so did. What's his name? Uh, Prince Fairy and his creature husband. I mean wife, Markle. And you know why Meghan Markle was chosen? First of all, Markle has the EL mark, mark of L, EL mark. Markle equals Kraken in Gematria. Markle equals Kraken, but that's not why. The reason the creature was picked to be Prince Fairy's wife, is because it's August 4th, the creature's birthday. Meghan Markle, August 4th. And I told you that Meghan Markle is the representation of Marilyn Monroe, because Marilyn Monroe was killed during the Kennedy debacle, and Kennedy is the Trump of today, right? Trump's going to get his head wound, and Kennedy's the one with the head wound, right? And he was involved, Marilyn Monroe was involved with Kennedy, and Marilyn Monroe, because Meghan Markle has the same initials, MMMM, and Meghan Markle's born on August 4th, right? When did Marilyn Monroe die? When did Marilyn Monroe die? You make me sick, Google.
Marilyn Monroe died on August 5th, 19...
Which is not true. By the way, that's not even true. That is absolutely not true. Did Marilyn Monroe die on August 4th?
According to Wikipedia, on the evening of August 4th, 1962, American actress Marilyn Monroe died at age 36 of a barbiturate overdose inside her home at 12,305 Fifth Helena Drive in Brentwood, Los Angeles, California. Her body was discovered before dawn the following morning, on August 5th.
See, she was found on August 5th, but she died on August 4th, so they're full of it. So what I'm saying is it's the 8485 connection. See, because 84 falls on 85 on a leap year, and that's what next year is a leap year. So technically, it's on the 8485 death, death thing, and which is exactly what Trump because just ask yourself, what is the chance, right, that Barack Obama, who's born on August 4th, is the president before Trump. Barack hands over the presidency to Trump in 2016, which is the 216, right? August 4th is the 216th day, and on leap year is 217. And when did Trump become president? 2017. 216, 217, which is August 4th. You see what I'm saying? But with a crown. 2016 and 2017 is 216, 217 with a crown. The 0 is a crown. You see what I'm saying? It's perfect. You can't get more perfect than that. All right? Anyway. Now, there's not going to be a rapture, especially the beast has to be revealed first, okay? Do I think Jimmy Carter is JFK? Well, look, they look alike, but no, I don't think they're the same person, no. Absolutely not. but they look alike. I get it. No, and just like the mark is not out yet. For the people who are saying that the mark has been already given out, no, the mark is not out yet because the beast hasn't been revealed. The beast has to be completely revealed. That's right, Graceland Open. I mentioned that in the past. Graceland Open on 6/7/1982, and I told you that Elvis equals 67, right? Elvis equals 67, and his twin Jesse equals 67, right? Spelled with an I, Jessie, like on its gravestone. Elvis equals 67, right? And Graceland, it opened to the public on 6/7/1982. And why is 1982 important? Because 1982 is the reverse of what this place equals, Seattle. Seattle equals 82 and reduce 19. Seattle is 82, 19, 1982. Oh, there you go. That's not, see? That's another connection, right? That it's going to be 42 years from that day, right? Yeah. And I've been telling people that 1982, 82, 19. And you know that I told you guys my channel name is Jurassic, right? But it was used to be called Jurassic Liars. I mean, it's still called that technically, but I named it after the Jurassic Park. When did the movie Jurassic Park released in America?
In the United States of America, Jurassic Park was released on June 11th, 19...
Do you see what I mean? I didn't know that when I named my channel Jurassic Liars, and here it is, Jurassic Park. Do you know that this is a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit? That dude's going like 55, 60. I mean, can you believe it? You just zoomed by. Did you hear that? Anyway, so what was I saying now? I can't remember. Oh yeah, that's right. Are you saying 9/11 because 8 plus 1 is 9 and 9 plus 2 is 11? So that would be 9/11. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's right. Someone mentioned the E.T. Elvis Trump. When was E.T. released? Listen.
June 11th, 1982.
There you go. See? I've told that to people all the time. So E.T., because what did E.T. want to do? He wanted to go home. Elvis Trump, E.T. And it was in 1982 on June 11th. So you have the 82-19, which is Seattle, 1982, and it was June 11th. You see what I'm saying? Too many connections, folks. I told you. Just too many. You don't understand. It's been scripted from years of planning, folks. We're not even talking. We're talking about years even before Elvis was born. Look, it's the iPad Go. I'm going to do my spin on the chair and turn into Elvis. You know the iPad Go where he turns to the chair and he becomes Obama, Bush becomes Obama. That music sounded like it. Yeah, I remember the movie The Thing. That was with Kurt Russell. And Kurt Russell was in the movie with Elvis. It happened at the World's Fair about the Seattle Space Needle movie that Elvis did. Yeah. Anyway, God bless all of you. And look, man. Look. I just got to show this one more time before we go. When I was showing you the 2016, which was the score of that 49ers, the 89 Super Bowl where Elvis impersonator was, the score was 16-20, which is June 11th and August 4th, you know what I mean? 162nd day of the year and 216th day of the year, right? And And I told you that my predictions are June 11th, 162nd day, and August 4th, 216, 16-2, right? And look, you see, Elvis and Jesse, they're born on 1/8/18, right? And if you say the date backwards, like they say in the UK, it's 8/1/81. Look what it adds up to: 216 and 16-2. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, you can't make this stuff up. You know, that's August 4th and June 11th, right in your face. You know what I mean? And that was the identical twins, right? And identical twins equals 162, 216. That's June 11th and August 4th. You see? And where was Elvis? Where was Elvis? Where did Elvis was born and where Elvis died? Look. 16-20-2016. Which was the score of that football game. You see what I mean? And Elvis died on 8/16. Trump gets his head wound on 8/4. 16-20-2016. Get it? It adds up too. You see what I mean? It never ends, you know? I just keep going on and on with it. But I'm just asking, out of all the Super Bowls, folks, out of all the Super Bowls, only one of them was the score 16-20, and that was the Elvis impersonator in 1989. And Elvis turns 89 next year. The 24th prime number is 89. It's the year 24, right? You see what I'm saying? It never ends. All right. Yeah, I talked about the connection with Home Alone. Yeah, I've talked about that actually. Where Trump was in. And why do you think Trump was in it? He was in the second one. Who was in the first one? Who was in the first one? It was Elvis. Did you know that? Did you know Elvis was in the first one? Am I going to be able to find that right now? Who wants to see that? I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to find that video. I hope I didn't erase it. Well, since I have this right here, let's listen to this real quick. So, you know, in Back to the Future, you know, they say that Back to the Future did like predictions, you know? Listen to this dude. This is the writer of Back to the Future. There was two writers. This was one of the writers of Back to the Future. Listen to what he says.
Correct. In part two, when Biff owns a casino and needs to put his name and his picture on everything, one of the inspirations for that was Mr. Trump.
So some fans believe that Back to the Future predicted the 9/11 attacks and any truth to that, Bob?
Of course. We predicted everything. We predicted the assassination of John F. Kennedy years after.
That's another one. That's another one that's here.
Yeah, we predicted Elvis's death and his resurrection, which hasn't happened yet, but it will. No, we predicted Elvis's death and his resurrection, which hasn't happened yet, but it will. We predicted Elvis's death and his resurrection, which hasn't happened yet, but it will.
So that was that. I mean, that's right in your face again. Like, why would he say something like that? What in the hell? And his resurrection? I mean, it's bad enough that they said that they predicted his death, but his resurrection too? I mean, this is ridiculous. I played that years ago. Oh, I don't have the video. But here is, oh man, I wish I had the video. I can't believe I erased the video. But anyway, the video, this is the scene where they said Elvis was in the background in Home Alone 1. They said that this was Elvis. Of course, it's not Elvis. Okay, this guy back here, not this one. That's Elvis. But in the movie Home Alone, okay, they were saying that this was Elvis in the background. There was a big deal that they made. And do you know what she said at that very moment? At this very moment, do you know what she was saying? Who knows? Who's been watching my videos? Who knows? No, that's not what. No. Was Elvis in the movie Home Alone?
According to the Mirror, indeed, some believe this unnamed character is played by Elvis himself, despite the rock icon having passed away some 13 years before the 1990 festive hit.
When did the movie Home Alone released?
In the United States of America, Home Alone came out on November 16th, 1990.
Or 11/10, one of those. But anyway, what so supposedly that was, so Elvis was in the first one, but it wasn't Elvis. It was just somebody was saying that. Do you know what she said at that very moment? This is what she said. Because she was trying to get a ticket home to get her son, because she had left her son. They couldn't get a ticket home. You know what she says? While Elvis is standing in, that's not Elvis, but they're saying it's Elvis. Was standing right. She goes, I would sell my very soul she goes, I would sell my very soul to the devil. No, she said, I would sell my soul to the devil, she said. That's what she said. At that very moment. Oh, man. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody saying something about what Macaulay Culkin said. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. When was Macaulay Culkin born?
Macaulay Culkin was born on August 26, 1980.
Yeah. Anyway, so so Trump was in the second one. Really in it. I mean, he was actually really in it. All right, folks. Oh, man. Oh. I'll see you guys. No, that was it. I thought I was supposed to show you guys something else, but no. I think that was it, right? Oh, let me just show you this one last thing. Let me see if I can find it. Now I'm probably not gonna be able to find it, but let's see. I want to make sure you guys understand about the head wounds. Okay, I know all you guys know this, but just in case there's one or two of you who don't know, that I told you that not only is Trump going to get a head wound, okay, so is Washington, the state of Washington, all right? Someone's asking, what do you mean? You mean by us talking about it, or are we obsessed with it? You could listen. If we're exposing something, it's not really being obsessed with something. We're exposing something that needs to be shown, and so we're not technically obsessed with it. We're obsessed with the truth, and the truth has to be revealed. You know what I mean? And so technically, no, we're not worshiping him by exposing their plans. No. So anyway, so Washington's going to get a head wound, right? And I told you Elvis, his side profile. Look, his side profile right here. If you look at his hair, okay, it looks like right there, this part of Washington right there. See, this is Seattle, and this is a King County area over here somewhere. But this is Seattle. Now, so if this is Elvis's head, if it gets a, and remember, they were calling this area the Chop Zone in Seattle. They were calling it Chop before they changed it to Chaz during those stupid riots and crap in 2020. So if this gets chopped off right here, that would be getting the head wound, or you know what I mean? This whole area disappears, and parts of Seattle and King County go under with it. I don't know, but look, it's Elvis's head. See what I mean? That's Elvis's head right there. Are you getting it? All right, and do you think it's a coincidence that Trump? Because I'm telling you, Trump's gonna get his head wound in Ohio, but he lives in Florida, and Florida, it looks like a gun, and it looks like Trump's head. If you put this part of Florida, which is all of Florida, put it on top of Trump's head, it would be exactly his hair. So not only is it exactly his hair, it's also looking like a pistol. You know, but Trump's gonna get his head wound in Ohio, not in Florida. But is it a coincidence that his head looks like Florida where he lives, and Elvis's head looks like Washington? I mean, parts of Washington. You see what I mean? I mean, come on, folks. Come on, man. And what's amazing is that I didn't know this information. Okay, when I made my prediction, none of them. I knew nothing. When I told everybody Elvis was the Antichrist, I did not know one connection. I didn't even know that Washington was the 42nd state when I said Elvis is the Antichrist. And because Elvis died at the age of 42, but I didn't know that Washington was the 42nd state until I started digging. And I couldn't believe what I was uncovering, you know? That Seattle was in King County. Didn't know that. Didn't know that when I was telling everyone, because Elvis is known as the king. Someone's saying something about a place called Chad in Africa looks like Elvis. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. Oh yeah, that Doja Cat. Yeah, she is. She's wicked. She had a song in the Elvis movie. Yeah, and there was one woman who died from that Elvis movie. Was one of the singers. I can't remember the person's name. What woman died that was in the new Elvis movie?
Shanka Dukara. According to NY1, Shanka Dukara, who played Big Mama Thornton in this year's movie about Elvis Presley, was found dead Thursday in a bedroom at her home in Nashville, police said. She was 44.
Nashville, Tennessee. See? Tennessee. But Elvis was, died in Memphis, Tennessee, but it's still Tennessee. Look at this. When Shanka Dukara. When did Shanka Dukara die?
According to page 6, on July 21st, Dukara was found dead inside her bedroom in the Nashville apartment she shared with her 2 children.
But the story didn't come out till the 22nd. July 22nd is the backwards date of June 11th. June 11th's backwards date is 7/22. And in between June 11th and 7/22 is 41 or 42 days if you add the day. So you see, it's the 42 connection. It's the only backwards date that can have a 42 in it of another date. I'm saying of its backwards date, because June 11th is the 162nd day of the year, which will leave 203 days in the year. The 203rd day of the year is July 22nd. That's the way you figure out what's a backwards date. So the only backwards date of another date, of its actual date, is that has a 42 connection is June 11th and 7/22. Other than that, every date would be either less, it would be either more or less for a backwards date. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then sorry. But like I said, folks, I do Gematria like nobody's ever done, because I didn't watch Gematria channel. So whatever I did on my own, because because everybody else is stuck inside of a box the way they do Gematria, all right? And that is why I was able to figure out all this stuff, because I didn't watch other channels. I didn't even use a Gematria calculator. Someone created this calculator for me, the way I did my calculations. They said, hey, I'm going to make it for you the way you do it. And they made it. It was an unknown person, folks. Unknown. Out of nowhere. Somebody just makes a calculator, because I was doing 15 to 17 hours a day of calculations, doing something nobody had ever seen before, and the person created this calculator for me that does it the way I do it, that nobody else had ever done. And what's funny is I never heard from the guy again, ever. Just came and put that calculator on there, and that was it. Never again did I see the person. Isn't that crazy? Like, he just comes and drops that in there and never comes back. Anyway, folks. Well, I don't know if he was an angel person, but he definitely was. He definitely helped me, because my calculations, I was doing everything by hand with no calculators, no nothing. And it took me 15 to 17 hours a day to do it. Like, literally, you should see the calculations I was doing. You would have lost your mind if you had seen what I was doing. I mean, each letter, one by one by one by one, I was adding them up. And like I say, you're not going to understand unless you see my calculator how crazy that is, if you see it. That's why my arthritis in my hands got so bad that I couldn't even hold the pen, because of all the writing I was doing. Anyway, all right, folks. No, the person never came back, I told you I know the person's name, the channel name. If that person mentions that channel name, I'll tell them that was him. Nobody knows that channel name but me. That's why they can't lie and tell me who it is. And I'm not going to tell anybody, because if I tell anybody, then people will say, oh, that was me, Do I think Michael Jackson was evil? Oh, absolutely. They're all devils. Prince, Michael Jackson, everybody. Even if they tell truth, they're still devils, unless they repent and believe in Jesus as their Lord and Savior. But they need to repent. Repent means you're not going to sit there and be a zillionaire still. You're living of the world still, All right, folks, last 2 minutes. I was supposed to end it a long time ago. I'm going to delete the last video, because it's the same thing as I was talking here. So I'll delete that one and leave this one up. No, I don't know what is going to happen on June 11th. All I know is, because Elvis equals water, Elvis equals reset. And that's how God flooded the earth with water. And he reset the earth, right? So Elvis equals water, Elvis equals reset. Same numbers in Gematria. So that's why whatever this event is, it could trigger something to do with water. And that's why you see in the IPEC goat that half of the apple, which is Washington, right? Apple State, is in the sea. Okay? The letter C. C is in water, right? Because Elvis is the B side of the sea. All right, anyway. All right, end the video. Jesus is God. You got 30 seconds to end your conversations. I got to end it because my throat is hurting. Please, no more questions. No more. Yeah, I know. I talked about that before. Yes. Yes, I've mentioned that. Yes. Save your questions for another time. My throat's hurting. All right. 10 more seconds, folks. 10, 9. Yeah, that's right. It's creepy and fascinating. Absolutely. End of video. Jesus is God. No, I can't even end the video. Hold on. I'm trying to turn it off. It won't let me.